Hello, welcome to the Surrey Knitter. My name is Heather and I'm a knitter and a crocheter, and I live in Surrey with my two small children and my fiance. Professionally, I'm a teaching assistant, but I'm also obsessed with craft, and this is my podcast where I share everything about knitting and crocheting. I believe this is episode 3. It's been about 3 weeks since I last saw you, and you know what? During that time, I feel like I've done a lot. In my defence, it was half term, so I was off work, just chilling with the kids and doing crafts. And yeah, we had a lovely time. Just before I get started, please excuse the fact that I'm so orange. There is nothing orange about my hair in real life, so I'm not quite sure why it shows like this, but you know by now I have orange hair in videos. I have no idea. It's just the light, but I can't really think of anywhere else to sit that will give me enough natural light. If I sit on that side of the sofa, you will be able to see the outside behind me. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I have tried to move the curtain, but we're just going to go with it. Also, if I rub my lips together like this, it's because they're a bit dry, so I've just put some lip balm on it. I have no idea why they're dry. I think it's just the changing weather, because obviously we've had some hot weather recently. Anyway, that was very rambly already. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for joining me today if you're joining, and welcome back if you have seen me before. Yeah, I think I'll just start with finished objects like usual. I will start by showing you my finished scrap bucket, which is actually housing all of my other finished objects that I've done over the past 3 weeks. So this is the scrap bucket by the Passionate Spinner. It is a double-sided reversible sort of knitted project bag with drawstrings. So the last time you saw this, I had actually knit the bag. I just needed to do the I-cord drawstrings, but I was putting it off a bit because it was really boring. But I just done it. I just got it over with. And it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. It was just a bit boring, but I got over it. So there you go. This is made from an advent calendar I got from Yarn Unique, and I've just kind of organised them so they're in a bit of a fade, and then I've held it double with some Yarn Smith's merino sock yarn in the colour grey. So yeah, that is one side of it, and I can flip it over. That's the other side of it. And then the drawstrings are part of the Yarn Unique calendar, but they are like a neon green and a neon yellow held together. So I'm really enjoyed making this. Apart from the drawstrings, I would make it again. I made the larger version, and they do have a small version, so I might make the small version, especially since I've got some of the advent calendar left. And yeah, I do think it's nice. So you just pull it like that. The reason I put off doing the I-cord was because it's nearly 2 meters of I-cord, and I know you can get them machines, but I don't do I-cords enough to invest in some sort of gadget, so I just got it over with. And yes, I am happy with the results. So that is the scrap bucket by the Passionate Spinner. Let me have a look. I started it on the 12th of January and I finished it on the 16th of February, so over a month. But that was me just, is it procrastinating the I-cords, because I did not feel like doing them. But they're done and that is over. So that is the first finished object. I will not be doing these finished objects in order because I can't remember now, to be honest. Right, the next finished object I have is a pair of socks. So I participated in the Funky Feb sock along, which was organised by Emma from Yarn and Glitter and Rhiannon from the Cozy Crab. It's now finished because obviously February is over. This was one of my entries into it. There we go. And these are the Disco Jellyfish socks by Stone Knits. I knit them in Yarn Smith's Merino sock yarn is the grey colour, and then the jellyfish is wildflower yarn. It was one of her lucky dip bags. So I'm not sure it had a colour. I think it was just sort of one of a kind, or an oopsie skein or something. But yeah, really, really cute. And they're all finished. And now I can wear them because I put off wearing them so I can keep them nice for the podcast. As I said, the heel on these ones compared to my alien ones was much easier because it doesn't kind of break up any of the colour work like the alien one does. And obviously I'd already done it, so it was much easier to do. If you're interested in seeing my floats, I don't know why I change my voice when I say my floats. Nice and neat. And yes, I very much enjoy stone knit patterns, and I would consider doing more in the future. So that is the Disco Jellyfish Socks by Stone Knits. Oh, what should I go from next? I'm just going to have to chuck things on the floor. Like usual, no change there. Next, I'm going to go with another pair of socks. This is another entry into the Funky Fab sock along. You know what, I feel like I'm a bit on edge today. So I have some parcels to post, and the Royal Mail website showed that there was a parcel locker near me, and I walked all the way there this morning and there was no such thing to be seen. So now I'm a bit like, I'm going to have to go somewhere else after this to post them, and I've already wasted my time. Don't mind me. Chaos. So yeah, this is another entry into the Funky Fab sock along, and these are the Summerlee Colourwork Cuff Club 2025, and this is August, and this is the first one I believe she actually released. The yarn is another Wildflower Lucky Dip yarn, and the colourwork yarn is a mini from Yarn Unique in just this purple colour. I absolutely love these. I just think they look amazing. If you'd like to see my floats, here they are in all their glory. It's interesting because I knit these after, what's on the floor? After I knit these. And with stone knit patterns, you increase your stitches for the colour work. So you keep the same needle size and you increase the stitches quite a lot, obviously because colour work is tighter. And then with the Summerlee socks, you don't increase your stitches, you actually change your needle to a bigger one. And that's how you get like the right gauge for the colour work. So it's interesting kind of doing these after doing these because there was a lot less stitches, and also it felt strange not changing the stitch count, if you know what I mean. But yes, I think they're absolutely beautiful. And when did I start these? Did I say when I started the jellyfish ones? Okay, I started these ones on the 16th of Feb and I finished them on the 22nd of Feb. I don't know if I said this, so I'll say it again or I'll say it now. I started these on the 8th of Feb and I finished these on the 15th of Feb. That is my kind of normal speed for knitting socks. I've done it a lot for quite a few years now, so I can do it very fast. So that's them. I then, well, I don't know what order to be honest. I finished these socks for my partner. They're looking terrible because they have been worn quite a lot and washed. So these are just basic vanilla sock. I actually used the basic sock pattern by Summerlee. And these are in yarn that I dyed myself. It was just an over dye sort of experiment I did, but they actually turned out quite cute. I made these for him. And yeah, you can see they've already had quite a lot of wear. He wore them for a few days, took them off, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you've worn them so, like, he wore them down quite a lot. And then I kind of felt bad because it made me realise how hard he works. So he works in construction and he works 12 hours a day. So yes, he wears big, heavy, like, work boots, and he does have problems with his feet. Like, he has problems with his work boots with, like, the heel rubbing on his skin, and you can literally see, like there, where the sock has taken the impact instead of his skin. So after I saw that, I was kind of like, immediately I knew I needed to make him more. So I said to him, if you go on the Wool Warehouse website and choose out yarn you like, then order it and I can just knit you socks, so you can alternate the socks, and so maybe they don't get as much wear. So that's what he did, and I've been trying to knit through them and knit him some socks. Anyway, when did I knit these? So I started these on the 18th of January and I finished them on the 15th of February. So these took quite a long time, just because I was distracted by the Funky Feb sock along. But after he said how much he liked them and how helpful they were with obviously preventing pain and stuff, I immediately cast on another pair when the yarn came from a warehouse. So I think he ordered himself 4 balls of yarn. So it was Drops Fable, it was 2 balls of Opal, and then 1 ball of King Cole. These are still a little bit damp. I just washed them this morning because they've been worn, and they've actually worn down much less than the other ones. Oh, I just wanted to say quickly, I knit these on a 2.5mm needle, and I just kind of tried them on him, tried them on him, you know, as I went. These do have significant sizing issues. For one, they are too wide for him along his ankle, so he wanted them smaller. I said, you know, I can adjust the stitch count, but I don't feel like that would be beneficial, so I'll use a 2.25mm needle instead. And these are also too long on the foot, so I did decrease the amount of rows I did for the foot on these ones, and these ones fit a lot better for him. So yeah, so these are on a 2.25mm needle instead of a 2.5, and they're not as wide, and I also took away, I think, 5 rounds in the foot, so they fit a lot better. This is the King Cole Norse, and this one's in the colour Valley. I did try to match them up. As you can see, this bit is like big, this bit is like more compact, and then again this bit's big, this bit's more compact. I don't understand how that happens, really, but I tried to match them up because I thought it'd be nice to have matching socks. If I'm knitting for myself, I don't usually care about them things. I kind of like the randomness you get from like a patterned sock yarn. But yeah, I matched them up for him. When I do knit socks, I do heel flap and gusset and then a Kitchener tape. And I always do cuff down. I have knit up socks at the beginning of my sock knitting journey, but I wasn't particularly a fan of that. Anyway, this is what we got here. And I started them. This is what I mean, like, these socks were my priority. And I did actually finish them in time to enter them into the Funky Feb sock along. So in total, I entered 4 pairs of socks into the Funky Feb sock along. That is completely normal for me. I can knit socks extremely fast because I'm experienced in knitting them. So these socks I started on the 22nd of Feb and I finished on the 27th of Feb. So these took me 5 days to knit. They were my absolute priority that he had another pair of socks. So now he has 2 pairs to alternate and I have yarn to make him a few more pairs. But the thing is, now that I've started knitting for him, when I'm online and like I come across yarn, I'm like, oh, I should get that for him because he might like them colours. We'll see. he's coming to a yarn show with me, so maybe he'll have his own budget to choose himself yarn to for me to knit him socks. So yeah, I think it's nice that he wants me to make him socks, and as long as it's being like helpful. At first he felt bad that, you know, there was some wear here and that, you know, it's got a bit fluffy. And I said, well, no, because they're doing a job that they need to do. Socks are made to, you know, protect your feet. And if they're doing that job, then I'm happy with knitting them. Even after a few wears, they get a bit fluffy around the heels. But yeah, they are. I just can't believe that your boots can do this. And that was happening to his skin. See that? He has since bought new work boots after I forced him, because that's not on. Being uncomfortable for 12 hours a day, 5 days a week is not on. So yeah, that is the socks done. Sorry, let me just have a quick drink. Oh, so last time I had my Halloween cup, which is there. And then I said about getting like the different one, and then I was like, no, I won't. I bought it the other day. I love it. It's got like, I don't even know, it's just blue with pink bits on it. I think it's definitely more spring. I do just have squash in these cups. I think you can use them for hot drinks, but I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure. Maybe they're fine because they can go in the dishwasher. So maybe they can be used for hot drinks. But you know, like they don't really have thermal protection. This is not a podcast about cups and coffee cups. Sorry about that. Just complete ramble. Right, my next finished object, I've got 2 more. So a little bit of background. There is a new yarn shop opened up sort of in my area, sort of not. It is in my area. It's about a 10 to 15 minute drive away, and it's called the Wall Studios, and it's in Shepperton. And it just opened, and it's like a cafe and a yarn shop. So me and my friend had a nice day out where we went there. And of course I done some shopping because I can't show up at a yarn shop and not do some shopping. So yeah, it was very nice, had a nice atmosphere. The ladies were lovely. They had nice coffees and cakes, but they did just have commercial yarn, but I think they had quite a nice range, and yeah, I'm happy to support local businesses. So the first thing I picked up was this James C. Brett Aurora double knitting, and it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So I got a few balls of that, and I thought, oh, I'd make my daughter a Hexi cardigan. So as soon as I saw this yarn, it just came into my head that I needed to make her a Hexi cardigan. So I've made her I think one Hexi cardigan in the past, and it was using the Horizon Hexi cardigan pattern from Hobie, which is a free pattern from Hobie, and I actually think it's quite a good pattern. So yeah, this is her Hexi cardigan. With Hexi cardigans, I don't put buttons on them. I don't actually think they look very nice buttoned up. That's probably a really unpopular opinion. I prefer how they just stay open. So that's what I've done. And this is her one. There was a few colours. There was kind of blues and greys. There's purpley greys. There was more of a pinky one, and there was this one, which is just like the most fun colours. Yellows, blues, some oranges, pink, green, everything. I just thought this is so fun, and she absolutely loves this. So I started this on the 14th of Feb, which is the day I went to the shop, and I finished it on the 15th of Feb. So this took me one day. They're really quick to make Hexi cardigans, especially this one because it's small. So it was so quick. I measured her chest with my measuring tape. I followed the general measurements for the size that was basically her chest measurement. which I think she's a size, so she's 4, but I think I made the 2 to 3 because she's tall, but she is petite. She's very slim. So I didn't want anything to be massive on her. So I just sized down, and then I thought it doesn't matter about the length because with length you can add, try it on sort of thing. So yeah, it's absolutely lovely. And I'm very happy with it, and she absolutely loves it. But I haven't let her wear it yet because I want to keep it nice for the podcast. But she can wear it now and enjoy. And yeah. Final finished object, and I wonder if you can guess what it is. It is what I'm wearing. So when I went to the wool studios with my lovely friend, I saw this big pile of yarn. They actually had a lot of it in all different colours. And as soon as I saw it, I said, I'm going to make myself a Hexi cardigan. So I've never made myself a Hexi cardigan, but I always kind of wanted to, but I just never found the yarn that I thought I really liked. I didn't want to make it in a solid colour because I think I kind of want something colourful. So I saw this yarn, and it is the James C. Brett Emotions double knitting. These come in 150 gram cakes. So 150 grams was enough to do one side, another side, and then I think I bought 4. The last ball was enough to do the sleeves, the edging and the bottom, you know, to add length. And then I think I've still got like the equivalent of 150 grams left. So I only needed 3 balls. It is 100% acrylic. When I was at the shop, I was really stuck between 2 colours. I think, is it Wistful? There was one called Wistful, which was kind of like a grey, bluey colour. And there was this one, which is called Affectionate. And I was about to get Wistful, and I said, you know what, I feel like I always go for them colours. And my friend said, yeah, you do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe if you step outside your comfort zone and go for something else. So I went for Affectionate, which, as you can see, is just every colour ever. And I wasn't too sure when I bought it. I thought, you know what, if I don't like it, I can make it into something else. It was probably enough to make a nice blanket or something. But as soon as I started crocheting it up, I thought, oh my goodness, I absolutely love these colours. Let me quickly take it off to show you. Oh, see, the wrists are a little bit tight to get off. So I think if I made it again, I'd add more stitches to the wrists. Even if it has been blocked and steamed, my sister done that for me. So yeah, let me just show you it. So this is it in all its glory. I love the colours. Like I said, at first I wasn't sure, but I absolutely love them. This is the Horizon Hexi cardigan pattern by Hobie. They have an adults version, and I actually really like this version opposed to other ones I've seen, and I'll explain why once I sort myself out. My goodness, what a faff. That was hard work. Yes, so when I've seen other Hexi cardigans, this is just my style. It looks great, and then they've got like the most humongous sleeves ever. Like, they're like this, and you know, hanging like that, and I really don't like the look of that. It does look nice on some people. Obviously everyone's own, what they like for their own body is completely personal, but for me it wouldn't look nice. So I wanted to have a pattern, you know, that had nice sleeves that are not too big, and this pattern's great for that. So I again measured my chest. I went with the size that gave me the kind of right measurements for my bust measurement, and then afterwards I just added the length at the bottom and on the arms until I was happy. This cardigan kind of comes to the tops. It's quite a long cardigan actually, so it kind of comes down my thighs a little bit. I am average height. I'm about 6 foot. No, I'm 5'6". So yeah, it's quite a nice long cardigan. It's really cozy, really oversized. Again, there's no buttons. What I also like about this specific pattern by Hobie is the fact that it's got this bit. So I've seen a lot of them that don't have this kind of collar, and I just think having this collar that you can just kind of wear open like that adds comfort, and I also think it looks really nice just to have that extra bit. This collar bit you do by leaving some space at the join here, so you don't join all the way, you just kind of join here and it kind of leaves this collar bit at the front. It's not on the child one, so I think it's specifically been designed for the adult version to just have a kind of an improved fit. I don't know if I said I don't have buttons on it. I don't really do that. I just like to have it open. I also really like the cuffs. So this is a front and back post double crochet. And I know I've said this before, but I absolutely love front and back post double crochet. Other people probably think, oh, it's really faffy. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is about doing that. I just love it. It's one of my favourite stitches in crocheting. So yes, this is the Hexi cardigan, the Horizon Hexi cardigan, the adult one by Hobie, and I'm very happy with it, and I can't wait to make another one. So yes, I started this, my notes are atrocious, on the 16th of Feb, and I finished it on the 1st of March. So that's the first make. That's the first finished object of March, and so far the only finished object of March. So just quickly for a kind of February roundup, these are things I finished in the month of February, but started maybe in January as well. So I finished the Truth Is Out There socks by Stone Knits. I finished my partner's green socks and my partner's bluey grey socks. I finished my daughter's Hexi cardigan, and that was the Horizon cardigan by Hobie. I finished the Disco Jellyfish socks by Stone Knits. I finished the Scrub Bucket by The Passionate Spinner, and I finished the Colourwork Cuff Club August socks 2025 by, is it 2025? No, it's not, it's 2024. You can't make it up, can you? Sorry, ignore that I said 2025, it's 2024. The Colourwork Cuff Club August socks by Summer Lee as part of her 2024 collection. So, all right. I finished 5 pairs of socks in February. So I know these ones were already, one was already finished when February started. That means I knit 9 pairs of socks. That is crazy. I love knitting socks, so I could do that happily all the time. So the thing is, I only have 2 feet. At least now that my partner wants knitted socks, I've got 4 feet to knit for. Okay, I'm just gonna like kind of chuck all this on the floor. Whoa, there's a lot going on. Now I'll go on to finished objects. Not finished objects, sorry. Let me just have a quick drink. Whips. Works in progress, not finished objects. Right, I will start with probably my longest standing whip at the moment, just from the beginning of the year. So I've got a pair of socks that I've not finished, and you would have seen these before. They are just a basic vanilla sock. Again, I use the basic sock pattern by Summer Lee. I have finished one, which I did have it finished last time, and I've only just started the other one. I actually started it this morning because I thought I want to get on with it. The yarn is a mini from the Copper Kettle, and it's just grey with sparkles. That is for the cuff and the toe. and the main colour is the 25th day of the Polar Express advent calendar that I got for her from her in 2025, and I think it's called, what is it called? Something to do with like the Northern Lights or something. I can't 100% remember, but they're really, really pretty. And yeah, I just want to get on with those because they've been on my needles for a long time and they were kind of pushed aside while I done my partner's socks and while I done these crazy colour work socks for part of the Funky Fab sock along. So that's just that. Not much to show there really. My next project, oh, let me actually see if I've got the thing for that. I don't think so. Oh, I'll just have to go from my memory. Yeah. Okay, so in my lovely yarn and glitter project bag. Oh, Emma, if you're watching this, I just want to apologise. I said last, oh, I've got it in here. I've said last podcast that I will link your Etsy shop down below, and I actually didn't. I will do it below this video. So if you want to get your project bags, then check Emma out, Yarn and Glitter. Amazing project bags. Okay, so I was on Instagram. Oh, I have Instagram now. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put it down below, but it is _Surrey_knitter. I'm on Instagram. I was on Instagram and I saw that there was a new yarn dye, well, one that I didn't know and one that hadn't had any sales on Etsy yet, so I assumed they were new. And I saw the beautiful yarn and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. And I was their first sale on Etsy. It was such an honour. I love it when stuff like that happens. So the yarn is, see, I should have asked this because I was messaging the lady that does that. I should have asked if it's kindred or kindred. I'm not 100% sure, but Kindred Yarns, and yeah, she sells DK kind of sock yarn in these like the most beautiful colours. So I thought, yeah, I will have some of that. At first I thought I'd knit DK socks, but I ended up knitting something else. So let me just show you the yarn. It's these beautiful purples and greens. The green and the purple are both like really cool colours here. It's like they kind of got a greyish undertone to them. They're just gorgeous and they are so, it's just so soft. It feels like, I messaged her and I was like, this feels like butter. It's so soft. It's so squishy. So it's 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. 15% nylon, and this is in the colour Fluorite. So I decided that because it's so buttery soft, I won't have it on my feet as socks. I will have it around my neck as a beautiful Sophie shawl. So that's what I'm making. So I do have the Sophie scarf pattern and the Sophie shawl pattern between me and you. The only difference is that there's less rows between the increases and decreases, and it's obviously the Sophie shawl is bigger and longer, but I have two patterns anyway, both of the patterns anyway. So I wanted to use this to make a Sophie shawl just because it's so beautiful with colours and it is so soft. So that's what I'm doing. So what I've done, because I wanted to use all the yarn, I knit and increased and then I kept weighing this. And I think it got to like 52 grams. And I thought, I'm not going to do another repeat because that might not leave me enough to do the decreases. So I started decreasing. Hopefully that will use a lot of the yarn, just because I want to maximise the use of this beautiful yarn. So yeah, I'm on the decreasing now. I just have this little marker and I just move it when I've done a kind of repeat and decrease and stuff. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. It is so soft and I can't wait for it to be finished so I can wear it. It's the softest yarn I've ever felt. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'd highly recommend that you check out kindred or kindred yarns. Again, I should have asked and I apologise for that, but it's just absolutely beautiful and they've got so many beautiful colours. I will link them down below, and I highly recommend that if you are looking for some beautiful hand-dyed DK yarn, that you check her out, because she's lovely, the yarn is so beautiful, and I can't recommend her enough. I've just remembered that I have another whip that I want to show you, so I'm going to really quickly pause the video and then come back when I have it. Right, I've got my long-term whip that I said I'd do. Does anyone think I've done anything on it? No, I've done nothing on this. This is my jelly roll blanket that I'm making using scraps, and I have not done anything on it. I'm showing you to kind of hold myself accountable, because I really want to get stuff done on it. I've got a lot of yarn to add to it, and I do kind of want to get a move on with it, but everything just has seemed so exciting to me over the past few weeks. This has just not even crossed my mind to pick up. I was talking to Emma on Instagram from Yarn and Glitter, and she was saying how she has a cast on bug, and I was like, I have it as well. It must just be the time of year. Something in the water, who knows? But I've just wanted to get everything cast on and started and done, that I haven't even thought of this. So I said last time, because I have 2 blanket projects, that I'm going to alternate them every podcast episode. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work on this and then I will alternate, because this needs to have some progress on it. So yeah, it's just a jelly roll blanket made up of scraps, and I've done nothing on it, but I'm still going to keep it active, and I'm going to force myself to work on it. So if you see me working on anything else over on Instagram, you need to remind me that really I have to do this. So yeah, that's that. So that is all my whips. Oh, and this was started last year. It's a long-term whip. We won't talk about that. So yeah, that is all my whips. I'm gonna kind of talk about my shop where I sell things. So if you don't want to see that, that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. But yeah, I'm just gonna briefly talk about my shop, because I've changed things and I've got some new things to show you that I've added into my shop. I actually might need to pause again to get something. Feels like this is a bit chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. You'll forgive me, I know, you're all amazing. So I just want to show you some yarn that is available in my shop, and then yeah, I think that's it. I'll just show you the yarn today. So I was originally selling on Etsy. It hasn't gone amazingly, and I understand I don't promote very much. I'm also new, I'm not as experienced. There's lots of beautiful stuff out there and competition, but the odd sales I was making, the fees for it were quite high, so I wasn't making, you know, I wasn't seeing the kind of profit I wanted to. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stop selling on Etsy and I'm gonna start selling on Kofi. That way, because there's no listing fee, the fees are less when you make a sale anyway, and because of that, that means I can offer my stuff at a lower price for people that want to buy. So I've been dyeing up some yarn. Some is available for pre-order and some is available right now as kind of like a one-of-a-kind skein. So the first I got this. This is an over dye I done just because I wasn't happy about something. But yeah, I think it's turned out really nice now. It's just browns, blues, greens. I think it's quite unique, and for the right person, it would be lovely. This is called Swamp, and it's a one-of-a-kind skein, and it is £10 on my Kofi. This is sock yarn, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. I then have a pre-order for Starry Night inspired yarn, and this is some yarn I dyed up inspired by the Van Gogh painting, but called Starry Night. And you can have this just on its own for £14, or it's available with some accessories for £18. It's I only ship to the UK just because that's easier for me at the moment. So that's available. Again, this is sock yarn, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And then my newest yarn is this, and this is done using a resist dyeing technique, which is the first time I've done it, and I'm absolutely blown away by the results. This is called Siren Song, and on its own it's available for £14, and with a project bag it's available for £16, I believe. And again, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's sock yarn. I can't wait to get these two knit up for myself because I just think, oh, such beautiful colours. So yeah, if you would like to support my business, or if you would just like to follow and see what I'm up to, then I will link my Kofi down below. I also have some crochet hooks for sale. I have a cute little dinosaur crochet hook set for sale, and I've just got other bits and bobs that I'm hoping to release. So if you would like to get your hands on something, or if you would just like to have a nosy, then please check me out on Kofi. It means a lot to me. So I think, is that everything? I think that's everything actually. So yeah, check me out on Instagram because it's just recently I've got it. So the_Surrey_knitter. I will link it down below. Have an amazing crafty time. I will see you in a few weeks. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Be kind. Try and be happy. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.